Good morning, Sam. It is Wednesday, February 24th, 2021. Today, I was thinking a lot about the future. And not in like a nihilistic sort of way, or even in an overly hopeful sort of way. As the workload of this school year starts to grow, I just found my mind sort of wandering. I was just thinking about what life will be like in a couple of years. I come from a big family. I have siblings in their teens, 20s, and 30s, and nieces and nephews who I'm very close to. As a whole, except for those of us who are in college, my family is basically in the same place, and since the pandemic started, we've been doing a lot more together. At the beginning of the pandemic, I was so sad to leave school and have to move back home. For a couple of months, it was really tough. I felt like I'd been uprooted from the place where I was living and growing and thriving and forced to go back home, the place that I was trying to leave. It felt like this strange regression back to the way that things were in high school, except that we were now all adults. It was hard. For the first couple of months, everyone was super on edge, hoping that this would be over very quickly, that maybe by the summer things would be back to normal. How crazy and naive we were back then. We were all nervous about the virus and spent so much time watching the world fall down around us that I really felt like I didn't see my siblings. We would have meals together and occasionally cross paths, but we were all on different sleeping schedules and it just sort of made sense for us to leave each other alone. This fall, both my sister and I were so lucky to get to go back to campus, to move in person and live in dorms. And while both of our schools were relatively close to home because of COVID restrictions, we weren't allowed to go back until winter break. Over the course of the fall semester, I just started missing my family more and more. Despite the fact that we've been stuck in the same place for so long and not really connected, I felt like there was another opportunity on the horizon. Winter break was coming up, a time when maybe we could actually connect. So when I moved back home for winter break, I immediately tried to spend more time with my siblings. This time it wasn't sad that I was leaving school. I knew it was going to happen, and I knew that I wouldn't be able to see friends when I got home. But I would be able to see these people that I loved so dearly. We started going on hikes together, doing projects, just spending time and having real quality conversations. Even now, being back at school, I feel the urge more and more just to give them a call. Maybe something came up in my day that I want to tell them about, or maybe I just want to check in on how they're doing. There's a magical quality to people you've known your whole life. They've seen you on good days, they've seen you on bad days. They know that sometimes you can be a brat and say things that you don't mean, and they don't take things at face value because there's too much history. They can't. So when I say that I've been thinking about the future, I don't mean that I've been fantasizing about some magical career or some crazy life that I want to lead. But I'm thinking about how these relationships will play out. I can't stop being a brother, an uncle, or a son. That's a role that I'm going to have for the rest of my life. And while there may be times when those connections are a little weaker, when I'll go for months without talking to them, that doesn't make them any less important. Family is something that means a lot to me. Those permanent, powerful relationships that will last the rest of my life. I am so excited to see how my siblings grow up. The beauty that they're going to bring to the world in whatever it is that they want to do. But I'm also excited for the relationships and friendships that continue to grow out of these connections. I'm excited for a time when my brother and I can play guitar around a campfire together. My sister and I can finally go to a bar and we can all collectively go on summer vacation. This time, not as kids being dragged there, but as adults, hanging out together for the rest of our lives. Sam, I'll see you tomorrow.